Number 7. Sun Dung Cave in the real world. Does there truly exist a place as dreamlike as something from Avatar? A realm that seems detached from earthly existence, where one might question whether they have stepped into an illusion. In Quang Binh Province, central Vietnam, there is such a place, Sun Dung Cave, a real-life dreamscape. Nestled within Phong Nha, Cu Bang National Park near the Vietnam-Laos border, the cave was first discovered in 1991 by a local man named Ho Con. While searching for agarwood deep in the jungle, he stumbled upon a mysterious opening. But the roaring wind and rushing water emanating from inside frightened him, so he did not venture further. In 2008, encouraged by members of the British Cave Research Association, he relocated the entrance. A year later, in 2009, he led an expedition team inside, and Sun Dung's astounding secret was finally revealed that on their first exploration, the team was blocked by a colossal 60-meter-high limestone wall, later nicknamed Vietnam's Great Wall. Only in 2010, with specialized equipment, were they able to scale this wall and uncover the cave's true grandeur. Sun Dung is the largest natural cave on Earth, its volume estimated at a staggering 38.5 million cubic meters. The main passage stretches over 5 kilometers, with an average height of 200 meters and a width of 150 meters. To put this in perspective, it could contain an entire New York City street, complete with skyscrapers dozens of stories high. A Boeing 747 could fly through its interior without its wings touching the walls. By comparison, Malaysia's Deer Cave, once considered the world's second largest, is dwarfed in scale. Entering Sun Dung feels like stepping onto another planet. Inside stand massive stalagmites, some reaching 80 meters tall, like alien sentinels guarding a vast, dark chamber. Most astonishing of all, a primeval forest thrives within the cave itself. Sunlight pours through 2 enormous sinkholes, allowing lush greenery to awaken in the depths of the earth. Mist lingers among the trees, creating a scene that resembles a paradise from myth. This underground ecosystem, complete with its own unique microclimate, is a marvel of natural evolution and resilience that a subterranean river also flows through the cave, carving out the largest known cross-section of any cave passage on Earth, twice that of the world's second largest. Beyond Vietnam's Great Wall, explorers even discovered giant cave pearls the size of baseballs. Normally, such mineral formations are only a few millimeters across, but here they are extraordinarily large, a stunning testament to nature's creativity. Today, expeditions to Sun Dung remain exceedingly rare and precious. Number 6. Tristan da Cunha. Imagine setting sail from South Africa, heading west for 2,575 kilometers, or departing Uruguay and traveling east for 3,701 kilometers across the Atlantic. Only then does a small green jewel rise from the horizon, the remote island of Tristan da Cunha. Its only settlement is called Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, a name that sounds romantic, but in reality marks the most isolated town on Earth. Within a radius of 2,414 kilometers, there is no other inhabited land. Here, about 250 residents live quiet, self-sufficient lives, surrounded daily by endless ocean and the sound of wind and waves. They are the descendants of 19th-century pioneers who chose to remain on this lonely island, forging a community that still endures today. Reaching Tristan da Cunha, however, is a daunting challenge. The island has no airport, no regular flights, and no scheduled passenger ferries. The only way to arrive is by hitching a ride on a naval vessel, a fishing boat, a research ship, or an expedition vessel, a 6-day voyage across the often stormy South Atlantic. Even if one endures the journey, setting foot ashore requires special permission from the local government. Many visitors who attempt the trip are turned back by rough seas or other obstacles, left only to gaze at the Emerald Island from afar. Yet this inaccessibility has been Tristan da Cunha's greatest protection, preserving its pristine ecosystem. The island serves as a sanctuary for rare wildlife and one of Earth's last untouched natural havens. Along the shores, one might encounter colonies of rockhopper penguins or witness a Tristan albatross with a wingspan reaching 3 meters gliding gracefully above the waves. On another part of the island lives the world's smallest flightless bird, the Tristan moorhen, running freely without fear of humans. In 2017, National Geographic's Pristine Seas project partnered with the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds to conduct ecological surveys here. They were astonished to discover thriving populations of blue sharks, far more numerous than in most other parts of the world, where overfishing has pushed them to the brink of extinction. Tristan da Cunha has become their final refuge. The islanders are acutely aware of the uniqueness of their home. Tourism is tightly controlled, and all wildlife is legally protected. Any disruption to the ecosystem is strictly forbidden. This is not resistance to the outside world, but rather a deep understanding that their isolation is what preserves their paradise. Number 5. Socotra Island. Separated from the African continent for 18 million years, Socotra has been called a virgin island of the Indian Ocean. It resembles an ancient ark drifting between the Arabian Sea and the Horn of Africa, untouched by the floods of time and civilization. Strange and mysterious, it is often described as the most alien-looking island on Earth, and scientists call it the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean. The name Socotra derives from Sanskrit, meaning island of bliss, yet its real appearance surpasses legend. Belonging to Yemen, it lies in the Gulf of Aden, about 380 kilometers from the Arabian Peninsula and 232 kilometers from the Horn of Africa. Though modest in size, 132 kilometers long and 42 kilometers at its widest, it makes up 95% of the Socotra archipelago's landmass. Its isolation since the Miocene epoch created a crucible for unique evolution that 1/3 of its plant life exists nowhere else on Earth. More than 600 insect species and over 20 reptiles live here, with 90% of them endemic. Of its 180 bird species, 10 are unique to the island, including the ABD alcuri sparrow found only on one of the archipelago's most desolate islets. Those expecting lush, tropical rainforest may be surprised. Socotra has a hot, arid climate shaped by alternating monsoons, bone-dry southwest winds from summer to autumn, then brief but intense rains with a northeast monsoon from winter to spring. The landscape endures cycles of drought and storm, with only the mountains capturing fog and dew to sustain life. In these damp refuges grows the island's most iconic tree, the dragonblood tree. With umbrella-like crowns and ancient, gnarled forms, they stand like guardians of time, remnants of tethys sea flora that have vanished elsewhere. Their resin, once prized for medicinal uses, now symbolizes resilience in extreme environments. Nowhere else on Earth do these trees form forests except on Socotra, yet paradise is fragile. Since 2020, the island has been controlled by the Southern Transitional Council of Yemen following a coup, leaving its governance unstable. Situated amid conflict zones and near pirate-plagued waters, Socotra is one of the most isolated and vulnerable islands on the planet. Number 4. Villa Las Estrellas, the town of stars. Imagine needing unnecessary surgery just to live in your hometown, an operation to remove your appendix even if you were perfectly healthy. Not only you, but your children, your spouse, your entire family must undergo the procedure. As strange as it sounds, this is the reality in Villa Las Estrellas, a small settlement in Antarctica. Located on King George Island, it is one of Chile's permanent civilian communities on the continent. Its population fluctuates between 80 and 150 residents, making it the only recognized civilian town in Antarctica. Unlike temporary bases focused on science or the military, Villa Las Estrellas has full amenities: houses, a school, a post office, a bank, a hospital, a chapel, a gym, and even a radio station. Children attend classes, adults go to work, and letters are delivered. Despite the harsh winds outside, the sound of children's laughter and South American folk songs on the radio fill the homes. Life here may seem idyllic, but it comes with unique challenges. The town has only a few doctors and no surgeons, while the nearest major hospital is over 1,000 kilometers away. A sudden case of appendicitis could be fatal. To avoid this risk, all long-term residents, including children, must have their appendixes removed before moving there. In this frozen land, prevention truly outweighs cure. Average temperatures hover around -2 to -3 degrees Celsius, dropping to as low as -47 degrees Celsius. In such conditions, even a common cold can become serious. Most residents are members of the Chilean Air Force, Navy, or scientific community. Some rotate through for assignments, while others live with their families year-round. In this remote and frigid environment, social bonds grow unusually close. Loneliness and extreme weather loom constantly, and companionship becomes a vital source of strength. Can Villa Las Estrellas be visited? Technically, yes, but only with special permission. Tourists may land briefly with Antarctic expedition groups if weather allows. Its remoteness and harsh climate make visits rare. But therein lies its fascination. A tiny society surrounded by ice and solitude, a story of resilience and adventure. Antarctica has no private land ownership and no national citizenship. Yet Villa Las Estrellas proves that even in Earth's coldest, most isolated corners, humanity can take root and light up the darkness. Perhaps that is why it is called the Town of Stars, a small beacon of civilization shining in a frozen world.